Alright, hello and welcome back to another deck profile. Now today, we're going to be taking a look at basically the offshoot of, what was it called? Spirit of the Pharaoh, where that was the worst deck of all time, where I kind of had an interesting interaction between a few cards that I liked more outside of the deck, where I could actually focus on that concept and grow with that and basically cut the cards that were just for Spirit of the Pharaoh, which was honestly one of the worst parts of the deck that we only got off once. But so I basically took a concept from that and expanded on it and made it into something I wanted to show off here today. It's not a meta contender, it's nothing that's going to break anything, but it is something pretty cool. It does let you turn one card into 5 and has some interesting applications. So we'll go ahead and get into this one here. So I'll go over the really main interaction of the deck first. So we have 2 copies of Crystron Needlefiber, and that's important, especially for his obviously special summon from deck effect, the thing that makes him super crazy, but the tag out for a Tuner Synchro as well. Obviously most of the time you go into something like TG Wonder Magician to pop a back row, but we can also go into Celestial Double Star Shaman. Now, because Needlefiber counts as a Synchro Summon, it triggers Celestial Double Star Shaman's effect on summon. So when it is Synchro Summoned, you can special summon up to 4 level 2 non-Tuner monsters from your hand and or graveyard in defense position, but they have their effects negated. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for the rest of this turn except Synchro monsters, and it's a hard once per turn. However, with Needlefiber, we can special summon this on our opponent's turn, whether it be the end of their main phase 1 before end phase, or the end of their main phase 2 before end phase, so we can kind of protect the monsters we summon back, and actually load our field up with anywhere from usually 3 to 5 monsters. Obviously, Needlefiber tagging out for this, and then this special summoning some of our level 2 or lower targets. For those targets, we have the most easily accessible card type of the game, which is Null monsters. We also have level 2 Earths for a very important reason as well. So we just have 3 copies of Digitron and 3 copies of Bitron, which are just easy things to get out of the deck through Painful Decision and Unexpected Die and Rescue Rabbit. So we essentially have 9 ways to pull them out of deck, in addition to hard drawing them, and we can do some interesting stuff. Obviously, going to Link Spider, specialing more from the hand, and just going off a little bit there. Now, also, as targets for our normal stuff, we have 2 copies of Toon Warrior. Sorry there, misspoke a little bit, but he's important because he's a level 3 Earth Tuner normal, so we can get him out of the deck fairly easily. We can special him off of Unexpected Die, off of Rescue Rabbit, off of Link Spider, so he lets us go into Needlefiber, and because of the level combination of Toon Warrior and Bitron, we can also go into Naturia Beast down here as well, kind of adding in the stun factor of the deck. For some more level 5 Synchro plays and just kind of ways to get back into the game with another copy of Needlefiber or something like that, we have 2 copies of Junk Synchron, obviously just normal summoning him and special summoning any of these guys back. 1 copy of Psychic Commander just as a target for emergency teleport, the 1-for-1 ratio not being super ideal, but being able to actually get that free tuner on board is the most important part of the deck, so we are running that. You could also swap out 4 cards for Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring down here, giving you another E-Tele target in Ghost Ogre. But I kind of have 2 packages of this deck. You can either run the 3 Call to the Grave and an extra Cyclone, or you can run the Hand Trap package down here. So it's either more stun or letting the deck go off more, and I chose to show off the one that allows the deck to go off more instead. For Needlefiber, obviously we have Glow Up Ball, but you pretty much have to play this card if you're playing Needlefiber, and then just Rescue Rabbit to draw our normals out of deck. Obviously, Painful Decision sets up our grave for Celestial Double Star Shaman, some of our normal Monster Reborns, in addition to getting a stuff in hand to special off of Link Spider. 3 copies of Unexpected Die again as well. Really nothing to explain there, just a free summon from deck, usually for Toon Warrior, to get our plays started. 3 copies of Swing of Memories for just a little bit more play extension. With the way the usual combo works, you kind of have to get 3 monsters on field, 1 being the tuner, and then obviously 2 being some of our level 2 normals. So Swing of Memories really lets you extend some plays where, say, you could just go into maybe Link Spider, special 1 from hand, and go into Needlefiber from there. Then you can special the tuner from deck, but you don't have the actual normal monster to Synchro with there, so you can go ahead and use Swing of Memories for some play extension there. For a card just for some crazy Link plays, we have Tri-White, which just basically Monster Reborn's 3 level 2 or lower normal monsters from the graveyard, which is fairly easy to set up through the means of Painful Decision, Unexpected Die, obviously all the cards we've already talked about there. The 1 copy of Monster Reborn to kind of finish off our 6 Reborn cards there. The E-Tele for Psychic Commander, the Foolish Burial to set up goods just set up. It's Foolish Burial to set up goods. That's a different card, I think. But the one Foolish Burial to set up the grave. Upstart for just a tick more consistency. The either Detonator from the Called by the Grave. I started to read the top title and then read the second title. But either the 3 Called to the Graves and the 1 Cyclone, or the Hand Trap package down here. The 2 Standard Cyclones, and a little bit more stun through the Solemn Brigade at the end there. Now getting into the extra deck, it's a little interesting because we kind of have to run some more subpar cards, I guess. Needle Fiber is really the heart and soul of this deck, so 2 copies of him is necessary for your plays on the next turn. Because Double Star Shaman is level 2 and it's going to be taking up the zone once you tag out with Needle Fiber, it's very important to be able to tag him and one of your normals out into another copy of Needle Fiber. So it's pretty much essential to have those 2 copies there. Mrs. Radiant is just very easy to go into with all the Earths that we have in this deck. 1 Proxy Dragon just to dump stuff into. The Link Spiders are again pretty much necessary to turn our normal monsters into some monsters we can actually use for more Link plays. The 1 Link Karibo for the Glow Up Bulb shenanigans. And the cards that we actually would like to end on, we have the 1 Deco Talker. Obviously, we have to use Link Spider or Mrs. Radiant for that. The 1 Nigirsu, again, we have to use other Link monsters for that. And the 1 Borload, again, having to turn our normals into other Links for that. So the extra deck is a little hampered by the fact that we have to run some of these suboptimal Link cards there. But especially with Link Spider being on the special from hand, it can actually be a play starter as well. 1 Sky Cavalry just for a level 2 option, obviously with Rescue Rabbit being an instant rank 2 there. The Celestial Double Star Shaman, the 1 TG Wonder Magician, just letting Needle Fiber have a little bit of an option there. And then for our 5s, we have 1 Chanbara if we're going second and want to push for damage, and 1 Napbeast if we're going first to set up our stun. So that's pretty much the deck, so we'll go ahead and get into some of the replays here. So for our first replay here, we're up against some pendulum mishmash. Really don't know what's going on there, but this one's really just to show off kind of the standard setup of the deck that we have going on down here. Now he's actually going to go ahead and set up first, searching an Amorphage and actually setting up so we can't activate monster. Neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck. Oh wait, no, that's the scale effect. Well, you can, oh no, the monster effect, yeah. This card is Pendulum Summon to Flip Face. Oh, okay, so it wasn't even live. Anyway, I was actually playing as if that was live and actually doing something to us. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, it was the Pendulum Scale. If he controls that monster, we can't actually activate effects there. So that's what we were playing around, not the actual monster on field. But Toon Warrior being quite large, we could actually just normal summon him, swing over that, use Swing of Memories to grab back the Digitron there, go into Link Spire, special a Bitron, go into Needle Fiber, special another Toon Warrior, and go into Napbeast there. We were just going to foolish set up something else there, but that's essentially the setup of the deck. It kind of shows you how Swing of Memories is a pretty good play extender, whereas if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have been able to actually go off there. But again, that's really just the standard setup that you'd like to see from this deck, ideally with going first with some back row as well. For this second one here, we're up against Generic Card City. It's basically, as you can see, his opening hand is nothing really specific, Spore being a little interesting there, but again, could just be used with the Lone Fire and things, obviously, and the extra deck being a whole bunch of Links and Troy Mares and things. It's basically just a generic Link spam deck. Gotta love it. So once the frame rate goes back up, we'll go ahead and start this here. And he's really just going to activate a whole bunch of generic cards and make a board with some Troy Mares here. Nothing special, a very kind of standard play from what we've come to see of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the recent few months here. Obviously going into Needle Fiber and the Griffin, doing some Glow Up Bulb stuff, another Troy Mare there, Spore activating, specialing back, and setting up with another Troy Mare there. Now, this one prevents special summon monsters from activating their effects unless they're pointed to by a Link monster. This one makes it so co-link monsters can't be destroyed by battle, and this one makes it so co-link monsters can't be destroyed by card effects. So he has a decent board there, with the obvious flaw being that the Griffin gives us a zone, allowing us to still activate some monster effects, and really all we need to go off is one copy of Needle Fiber. So we'll go ahead and Unexpected Down into Toon Warrior, normal summon a Bitron, go into the aforementioned Needle Fiber, go into Link Karibo, go ahead into Glow Up Bulb, special back the Glow Up Bulb, and then go into a Borload there. We'll actually take the one that prevents them from being destroyed by battle, swing over the one that prevents them from being destroyed by card effect, because we can reduce this down on his turn, so it's really not threatening us anymore. And anyway, we can just go into Link Spire, go into Ningirsu, set the Tri-White instead, and actually get that off the field as well. and he's going to draw a dead Orpheus Scorpio from hand, having obviously blown his whole load there, and having a few bricks in his hand, really only having one card, not being able to come back over this. So not the standard setup of what the deck wants to do, but just a showing of basically that Needle Fiber can make this deck make a boar load, really. That's something that really does come up a lot if you're going second. Getting into this one, we're actually up against Constellar Mekk-Knights, which I didn't even know was a thing until I actually looked through the deck a little bit there, but that's what we're up against. As you can see, we opened Unexpected Dying Rabbit down here, which is pretty much one of the ideal setups because it leaves every other card in your hand being able to be something that's not needed for your main combo there. So we're actually going first here, so we'll go for the Toon Warrior. We'll summon the Rescue Rabbit, which will go into 2 copies of Digitron. Go into a Link Spider Special, another one from hand. Go into Needle Fiber. And we're actually going to go for a slightly different variation here. We're going to set up the Glow Up Bulb early, since summoning Toon Warrior really doesn't give us anything. And we're actually going to go into Nat Beast with 3 monsters there. Now, that really is an unnecessary step, but it did set up the grave with a few more monsters. We could have just specialed them from hand, but I just kind of put them in grave anyway. And then from there we can upstart. We'll get a Painful Decision, which will set us up with 4 in grave and 1 in hand, and we'll have a Strike and our Nat Beast. Now, we'll go ahead and special a Mekk-Knight, which immediately threatens our Nat Beast just from being high enough attack alone. So I'm going to go ahead and strike it, hoping he doesn't have another in hand, and we actually would be correct there. Now, he went to end his main phase, so we'll go ahead and tag out for the double Star Shaman, since Needle Fiber has to be battle phase or main phase there. And as you can see, we just went ahead and specialed 4 monsters back from the grave, turning our 1 Needle Fiber into 5 more monsters. And that's really the main play of this deck, and where you get to go off is if you can stop your opponent on that first turn through Nat Beast and some back row, you can actually go ahead and make some crazy plays here, obviously just having 5+ monsters to work with to really go off there. But that will do it for our look at level 2 spam stun here, this weird level 2 mishmash kind of thing I got going on. I switched back to the more stun package as well for the outro here. But again, not a meta contender, but it's something very interesting, something very fun, and just a really cool interaction that I found out, and kind of a mishmash of some cards that can make Nat Beast in addition to working with Celestial Double Star Shaman as well. And just an idea that I really liked and kind of ran with here and wanted to show off to you guys as well. But anyway, usual plugs at the end of the episodes. I'll link to my Twitter where I tweet out new videos and some random thoughts here and there. I'll link to my Discord as well where we chill, talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like when new cards are announced or things like that, have some duels here and there. And a link to my Patreon as well, where if you appreciate the effort that goes into recording these, editing them, and things like that, especially right now, I'm hitting a little bit of a funk, so it's a little bit harder to make these, but I'm still trying to get them out here after a little bit of an absence for a day or two there. But anyway, just watching is enough for me, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.